Her smile just keep no response wherever this.
Wait, she's just a distracted old woman. Why? I just told.
The woman still. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer." Not a good track record of mental health in that family. A silver plaque, not a good track record of mental health in that family. What did he do? You have high above you, the king stands
Promising race pupil returns. And look, babe. The minion of law is
So?
the basic race education he received in high school has basic racist. I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the heart. Very well. You may enter the door.
Finally.
Can I help you? Yes, have you a lot for the like what? I was what thing? Yes.
We should find out who this Lord. We don't. We have to wait.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or they probably
I have a feeling we.
What?
By the way, you should come back to.
Another thing. Yes. Wait, what? But what about the bird? Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was him.
It's as if he can't decide whether to be angry or relieved that it was you.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer? I can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie. Even worse, I thought she was trying to send me a message. Symbol of hope and all.
A tender type of hope.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Really? I should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess. Was there anything else you wanted, or...? Absolutely.
You wait and see. Absolutely. Your body is ready, sire.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead. Glad to have been of assistance. What?
There was a touch of discomfort.
The Pine's core competency is logistics. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year...
$1 billion?
It's a number, officer. It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made... 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those... They started as an exploration and centuries of care, deliberation and madness have gone in. You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for... There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
The lorries are still stuck at the roundabout. If the police... We did.
We know the company has launched its...
Well, here's your chance. No. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint... Thousands of liters of raw...
Well...
What is that?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open it.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time. Thousands...
Well...
What is that?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg...
I am sorry for the inconvenience. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bed.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for... Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. The two...
Or not. Though if...
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant. Yes? Excellent. According to my... It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Why, yes I am. Of course there are. I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
She nods attentively.
The boat? No, it's a pleasure craft. My sloop.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks.
Officer.
The crowd, her nonchalance might be real.
Good.
Now it's turning into a kind of a... Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times, sir. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an...
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense.
Then what's your deal here?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on the...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing...
A rhymesmith. This...
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of rep...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Your best verse.
That's brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
That's,
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter...
He's not lying. He liked the...
Yes, and I also thank you for stuff.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Your best...
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Your best...
Looking for something? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah, they know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about Janet. Since he left, I haven't...
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed sus... Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after his tribe are natural liars.
I wouldn't be so sure about it.
Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't... Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! That's very cool. I don't like drugs either. I only said I do because that's even cooler. You investigating
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet...
So you admit
No, I just said I work harder. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. No! That's insane. It's the fact. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
And what?
Crowd, you know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. I don't know. Maybe.
It could be. He's not ruling her out.
All of them.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You... Everything's still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your...
Oh, okay.
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you,
An investment?
or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
Ha! That! You drive a hard bargain, officer. I respect that. Sounds like a fair deal all around.
Corruption.
It's just like bus or seagull. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what do you do?
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Everything's still cool here, officer.
The woman still has...
If you want her attention, you may need to be...
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of it.
Then I don't suppose you could tell me where we are, lawman? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I wasn't until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a white...
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black... While you, people, were tearing each other...
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots.
She's just a distracted old...
So he doesn't...
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain, the Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds... You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should...
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say? Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 30.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Diamonds? Of course not. But with whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you...
Bad hand. Hermenegildos's bad hand. Strangled 3...
Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's the woman's...
I'm a lady like you are Gabriel Buenguerro. Only in dream. I'm only terrifying to small children.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other because they can no longer recognize ellysim? What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a...
Those epithets are familiar somehow.
If you don't know,
maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
You're mad, Loman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Gra... No, Loman. Diamonds. Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the... Or I can just relax and...
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
Yes?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limb. I don't want to talk about that. I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but...
What color?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when...
Then she may have dyed it again.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping...
He still is. It's true. We would have caught her like... Bah. Emotional rhetoric.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did...
We can't just let it...
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her.
Did this violent life...
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid.
He's right. There are other options. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Thank you, friend. Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Your best?
Looking for something? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods, and another lorryman's... Listen up, fuckwits, you don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run...
No. He means La Puta Mat.
A legendary, and not in a... Looks like the lieutenant.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting...
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Looking for something?
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
What? What do you think we're doing right now, runt? We're outside. There's some kind of homo thing?
Okay, that's enough. Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are...
Looking for something?
The main thing...
Oh yeah? And what goods are... There's some kind of... Looking for something?
Men like this only respect two things. Strength.
Fuck you, I told you.
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green ba-
When did she go?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big... Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave...
A small temple by the monument.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up. This screen found A to Z content.
This must be the one he told us about.
The glass on the side windows is tinted. The door is locked.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
This screen found A to Z Contemporain is parked in the... This screen found A to Z Pry bar in hand. You take a... Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your...
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets...
It went better than I expected. Open it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old... These are movie posters. One of them particularly catches your eye. The actress is draped in a sheath. This is Tijon, a starlet. She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River. The actresses and the rear actor looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. Doesn't look like it.
The smell of... You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a bit. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
The movie stars are still smiling. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Petty Ferry. It looks like an article.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into it. You close.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter.
This means it's
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while... We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt... My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It certainly worries. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well...
unimportant.
Debrief over. I've...
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. But, is she in... Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
He chooses to believe what's best for her.
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang. But
the correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Tommy Lahom was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him. The man taps his fingers rhythmically again.
You're back. Good. Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What if... It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to...
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of River...
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is...
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple.
Who are they?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an...
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant union members to He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out... It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynch.
What is the nature?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will...
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not...
The Seraï's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is as I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The opera...
Meaning they're used.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Sadly, no. If you still have access to the ice...
The International Collaboration Police.
Do you know...
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCN. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenager. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit.
The lieutenant consult.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about...
Last Sunday night, at the whirling... Either way, he's alleged to have sexually... That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel?
If you mean did I see him alive? Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis...
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased?
She closes her eyes.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age.
What else?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it, you're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry job.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my...
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe,
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react?
your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
It would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start.
They don't report.
Not on this matter. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about.
It was taken with a frigate not long ago.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her.
Sorry. I was trying to see. I can't. But that's how you read this story. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo. Quite a few. Vredefort. The Oron...
What next?
Then he made his way to the Preto Grande. Through what I... Revachol. Those are the two...
The old...
You said you can't...
I can't. This man was no sailor. And the sailor's soul would use it to fly back home with his platoon members? The other contractors.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come...
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making it so cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Yes.
Looking for something?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Hell no. It just has to be said, that was not a convincing line. Fucking loincloth? Now you see, that's not really what a scab would say, is it? Better fucking fuck. I'm going to interpret that. How about you fuck off?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. Somewhere above, the man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are... Don't think so. Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad...
Actually, I think we should...
He clearly does not think poking the hornet's nest is a wise plan. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 50, Sir Officer. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up some... Sylvie Malay. Yes. Oh, great. What else? Anything else I can help you with? 50...
In the cabin, you see a...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. What?
There may be a way to get her speak.
A bird? Of course you're not, my dear. Of course. Ask me anything. We're in Martinet. You would be... I'm not. This place used to be a province. A workers' resort. I would be happy to... Unimportant. As I said. The revolution... It wasn't a who. From Revachol. Why?
Something tells you her life.
No doubt. A city-state.
The clatter of...
The zone of modernity. 43 years. The 20s or a decade. The 30s.
All that untaxed income must...
Yes. And welcome to reality.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed. We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we'd played it right. Those would be...
She's not.
Oh.
She likes the totality of it.
Did they ever? Before they got... Yes. The Red Deluge. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head. Or thrown beneath a horse. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes. King Guillaume had a nose for bad. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist king. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral, liberals are usually middle-class people, detective. Or the remaining gen... Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. They didn't win so much as...
We. She's...
To foreign intervention. The coalition... The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad. Mesk.
There is bitterness in her voice.
The Moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it... At least not in the same... This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same...
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial.
A devout man of the center. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to headship. Good question. What would you have done differently? And I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you? You and everyone else. But that's got nothing to do with preventing the revolution. Oh, well. What was, I guess. They are what they are. Anyway.
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra. An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. No, not like me. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp who pushed the king under a shitwagon and betrayed the revolution. Are you liberated enough to offer up your home on a plate for financial colonists? No, I think not.
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
That dialect is ubi sunt. You recognize it's a quote from somewhere. A play written way back in the Franco-Nigerian century.
Ah. Maybe you remember more than you let on. Despite whatever brain damage. I hope we're able to continue as friends. Despite my scaly bulk. And my When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy. I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. Then for my daughters, we had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing. Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but...
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I...
Wow. Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. Oh yeah, look at yourself. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The work a little, you make money. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life... Are you rich? Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone. Almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Because of the taxes. G-Man's got... Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate? That is Revachol. You and I both, but they got those 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. You should take care. Let's talk to him anyway.
Though he